Okay, great morning, everyone. Oh my goodness. Well, this morning I wanted to look into this thing because I keep having it pop up and pop up and pop up. Endless YouTubes. And it's a company called Forbes. Now, I did some checking into it because it's very uber right leaning, just kind of despicable stuff that they're putting up there. Endless. And what I found was that it was sold in 2014 to these guys in Hong Kong. Okay. Now we know that Hong Kong was taken over going back to communist China. So it looks to be a front of a propaganda thing from communist China. Okay. So, gee, we've got the Russians on one side, and now we have the communist China, using the name Forbes. Now the family of Forbes has still a very small interest in it. I think it's like something like 10%, and that's it. So it's really being run by these Chinese businessmen. I think one's Hong Kong and one's Singapore. Okay, so let's pull the cards and see what we get on this. So what can you tell me about Forbes? Now, I tried to dig deep into this guy, the Chinese guy from Hong Kong, and he's got interests in a number of things, but you really can't find too much personal information about this guy. So what we have in the past, great fortune, money-making drama, okay? And we'll go ahead and use my full Lenormand. So when it comes to the great fortune, okay, not an upstanding person, okay? This could be somebody that's crafty, devious, etc., okay? So that's what we have going into it. So not a great start, is it? So above it, we have sharing. Yes, Forbes is putting out all this YouTube drama. And the foundation of it is, maybe trying to block some information from getting out. So it's not really looking at the things honestly. It's putting out spin. It's putting out propaganda, basically. Okay, so what we have now is, again, sudden wealth. It's all about what they're getting out of it. Okay, now it doesn't always necessarily mean monetary stuff, but the history, okay? Sudden wealth, the history. So they are able to spin things. Yet again, it's about spinning stuff. Above it, the strong mental drama that they're putting out there. That's above it. Because the foundation is they are not so happy with some things. So they are going to skew it with their message, with their ideology, which they have. So at the center of it, we have the main male. See what we can find out about the main male. The community. Okay. Above it, Yeah, charging forward. This putting out this mindset out there rapidly. This mental spin of judgment. Okay? So again, it comes back to that, what is it, the communist collective, and putting out this rhetoric as quickly as they can get it out there. Because why? They don't like democracy. Let's just put it out there for what it is. The challenge is the courtship. Okay. The tower, the government, the also can be somebody that's just in their high tower, etc. Above it, okay, again, the highest points of government, leadership is what I'd say to that. The White House could also be Xi Jinping or whoever is there. And this is about their, again, karmic thing and turning the wheel. So the judgment. So they're going to do all they can to try to hinder democracy, etc. Put their spin. Okay, it's the marriage. Okay. Snaky things, okay? So yes, this guy is working with unsavory things, and this is a doorway for them. Is this any sort of a surprise? Above it, the Pandora's box. And the foundation is the action that they're controlling, okay? So let's see what we have underneath of it. It's about their long-term benefit, okay? Being able to skew things. And this is coming down from where? The top echelons, okay? The top echelons. I don't think that this guy is a great believer, okay? I think this is more of Xi Jinping, somebody that he is kowtowing to and doing the bidding to try to end things, okay? Again, to try to make the fallback for what? Democracy, okay? To tie things up mentally by putting out what? False ideations. And this is their game plan. This is the things that they're doing, because they use this out there to put out their rhetoric and their mental spin. Okay? So let's look and see what we have here again. Major arcana in this. What's fueling it underneath of everything? Great leader, okay, is trying to put an end to some of the things that are happening, and this is the path, the choices that they're doing it through. Now we go back to the main reading, and what's the main driving force? In the center of it, the main male is judgmental, rushing forward with their ideations, because the challenge is karma, etc. And according this government mentality against the White House, okay, against democracy. So let's see what we have. Why are they doing this? Again, what's going on now? There are seeds that are planted, harvested, that they don't like. Okay? So they're going to try to skew it. How? the great fortune of deviousness that they're sharing through this company and trying to create the Pandora's box. Because this guy is married with what? The toxicity. The toxicity of what? Communist China, the red, okay, that's holding the power. So we have going into it blocking genuine information by putting out very toxic ideology as rapidly as they can. Putting this stuff out there to spin people's minds, to get them in this state. Because the challenge is the White House. And so they use this toxicity, marriage, working with this guy, with Xi Jinping, basically, to try to hold on to some sort of power. So, oh, what a surprise for that read, huh? But they feel like in the past, they've got good fortune by being devious. Okay? The past, great fortune by being devious, deceptive. And now they have a wealth of history. Okay? So they're looking at all the history. The main male is what? With the community. So this tells me, again, communist thing. The challenge is the courtship. The courtship with what? This governmental structure and his marriage or his commitment to this toxic ideology, etc. Okay? So that's what I'm getting with this company, Forbes. Now, wasn't Forbes at one time? Weren't they dealing with money issues and things? Didn't they have something that was called Forbes quite some time ago that was on the up and up? And so this, they bought out this company and are now using it for propaganda. And I mean, just uber right spin, just endless video after video after video after video. So anyway, I'm going to leave this here, but I'm not surprised. I am a little surprised, but how much of this are we seeing out there? I wonder how many of these things are owned by Russians. So we have the Russians and we have the communists. Basically, behind the scenes, I think that they're working together in a way to try to take down democracy. So we have to be really smart, educated, and really try to look into maybe putting out the reality, what's behind these things. Okay, not just let them get away with continuing to do this, but out them for what they are, so that people know, rather than getting carried away by this stuff and thinking that they're getting it from an American source when it's anything but. You know, it's kind of like the thing that Gates brought up, was reading from this thing, and it's a communist paper. Okay? It was a communist paper. And so he's just going to try to browbeat somebody, and the guy is, you know, of course, our security thing is saying, well, I don't take things from the communist paper and validate it, okay? I'm just not. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave this here, and I'll see you online. Okay, well, I just looked something up, and oh my goodness, So this really just does confirm my reading in what's there. The Guide to the Communist Collection of A.E. Forbes. So it says, and I think this is part of that family. He passed, I guess, in, was it 72? Or this is maybe this is just a collection that he had. But anyway, Adolf Edward Forbes was a member of the Communist Party in Pittsburgh from the late 1930s through World War II. The collection presents broadsides and newsletters, some of which were hand-rendered and relate specifically to the region. Others are widely available Communist Party and left-wing propaganda. The collection also contains family and wartime correspondence, fictional writing, and a diary. Digital reproductions of selected material is available online. It says, born in 1907, Adolf Edward Forbes lived in the Oakland neighborhood of Pittsburgh with his mother, father, and siblings. Following high school, Forbes spent 15 years working in Pittsburgh and also traveling throughout the country, both on his own and later with the United States Navy. By the early 1930s, Forbes was a member of the Communist Party, as evidenced by his involvement with its front organizations, such as the Workers' International Relief Cultural Division. Forbes' work in the CP reflected his own interests, such as writing, acting, and selling books. During this time, Forbes worked on novels and short stories. He also acted in local productions of radical plays, was involved in the Pittsburgh Pen and Hammer, a working-class literary publication, and tried to establish a labor research library. There is no indication that Forbes held any high post in the Communist Party at either the national or local level. In 1940, Forbes left civilian life and entered the United States Navy. In the Navy, Forbes was a first clerk and later a shipbuilder. It was during this time that Forbes met his future wife, Shirley Levine, and they were married during World War II and eventually settled in Pittsburgh. While Forbes briefly attended the University of Pittsburgh following high school, he completed his degree after the war, making use of the GI Bill. In the next decades, Forbes remained in Pittsburgh with his family and became active within the local Jewish community. Oh my goodness. Corporate names were Communist Party of the United States of America. Yes, family names, Forbes family. This was the social actions of communists in Pennsylvania. Oh my goodness. Crimes of the United Front. So, let's see what this says. Restoring America. Concerns are growing on Capitol Hill over an agreement that would see a company with links to the Chinese Communist Party take ownership of Forbes Global Media Holdings. So there it is. This absolutely is proof of what I just read. That yes, they are all ties to the Communist Party. So my reading was absolutely 100% spot on. This is a propaganda front for the Communist Party. Oh my goodness. Well, I had no idea what I was going to find when I started that reading, actually, but that really confirms everything that came out in it, 100%. Oh. So I'll see you online. Thanks for tuning in.